You have the person who is maybe releasing the pain that they felt from their past, right? And they're beginning to operate in more higher vibrational frequencies like love, like joy, like acceptance, like peace. And so that person's vibration, their frequency is a lot higher, it's a lot faster. So they are calling in things that resonate with them. That's the type of person that's going to attract the emotionally available person. They're going to attract royal treatment, princess treatment, king treatment, queen treatment, whatever you want, right? That's What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Chakra, aka your favorite cosmic fairy, but if you're not new, you already knew that, period. Welcome to another mindset episode, you guys, where we're going to be talking about mastering your emotions. So last time we spoke, you guys, last time we hung out, we really dived deep into the topic of your thoughts, creating your reality and how your thoughts are so important. I did mention that, your emotions play a really, really big role and an integral role in manifesting a new reality, changing your reality to something more desirable. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that part of the process today. So let's talk about it. So your thoughts are powerful, you guys. Your thoughts are powerful, but there's a reason that we're not out here manifesting every single thought that we think. So think about this, you guys. The average human being thinks about 60,000 thoughts on a daily basis. So imagine if you saw every single human being that's thinking these 60,000 thoughts, manifesting every single thought they're having every single day. This place would look a lot crazier than it already does, right? So what is the difference between a thought that gets manifested and a thought that doesn't? The power of the emotion that is tied or paired with that thought. So you know how sometimes you think a thought and it just kind of like comes and it goes, and there's like no strong feeling one way or another about the thought. You just have the thought, it comes, it is what it is, it leaves, right? But then there are some thoughts where like you maybe start to feel your heart pounding, maybe you get anxious, or maybe you get really excited, right? Like maybe you're planning a vacation, you're thinking about being on the beach, you're like, oh, I can't wait to break out the suntan oil, right? Like however that works for you. But this is kind of that feeling, that emotional component that gets tied with the thought that gives it the momentum that it needs to come from the spiritual realm into the 3D, to come from 5D down here to where we can get to experience it with our 5 senses, right? And so this is why mastery over the mind and over the emotions is so important, you guys, because you want to get yourself to a point where nothing in your 3D can deter you, can sway you one way or another. You are solid, you are 10 toes in your emotional state and your mental state, and both of those are aligned in the same direction, and then boom, that's the recipe for everything that you want in life, period. So what are emotions, you guys? Emotion stands for energy in motions. Energy is always moving. The law of vibration, we're going to talk about that a little bit in this video, but I'll make another video really going deep into like the law of vibration, what frequency, vibration is, all that stuff, how it corresponds to like, this manifestation journey, this changing your mindset, shifting your reality journey. We'll talk about that. But when it comes to understanding your emotions, right, you have to know this. Your thoughts are the language of your mind, and your emotions are the language of the body. All of it is information for you to take into your awareness and do something magical with it, right? So Dr. Joe Dispenza gave a really, really good example, and he spoke about a person, right? Like let's say you think a thought, an insecure thought, for a couple seconds. After a little while, that insecure thought that you held for a few seconds, it will lead to insecure feelings. And then your brain that's always analyzing the body, scanning the body for what it needs to know, picking up on information. It picks up on this emotional state of insecurity. So what does it do? By default, it gives you more insecure thoughts. Like, oh, that's what you're asking for clearly because it's what you're embodying. Let me give you a little bit more of that, right? So it gives you the insecure thoughts, which then leads to more insecure feelings. And then that goes on and on and on, and that process happens. And so what goes on after that now? That cycle repeats, it repeats, it repeats, and you slowly start to imprint into your subconscious mind, I am insecure. And then what happens after that? You begin to attract from that self-concept identity as an insecure person. And that lines up with a whole bunch of insecure experiences playing out into your field, into your life, right? Because the universal law of attraction states that like goes to like, you guys. You cannot attract something unless you are being or embodying or doing the things that resonate with that reality, right? Simple as that. So I got a Bible quote for you guys. Now, you guys know I am not religious, but I love to quote the mystic books because I feel like they hold a lot of wisdom, a lot of gems, and why not, right? So this one right here says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Now, what does that mean? That quote or that verse is really saying, your heart is the place or the center through which a lot of things are going to flow into your life, right? Out of it flows the issues of life. The heart chakra is known as one of the manifestation centers, right? So if you are not protecting your heart, which is also an emotional center, what is that telling you? You're going to be likely to manifest all types of things that doesn't align with what looks like what you desire, right? Or you're likely, I should say, to attract all types of things that doesn't resonate with the things that you desire. And that's okay, because we're here to clean up all of that mess right now. So let's talk about it, you guys. I want to go with an example, but before I give an example to you guys to really bring this home for you, right? Picture this. Remember I was mentioning vibration and frequency, and yes, we're going to make a separate episode talking about that, but you have to understand this when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your thoughts. Everything carries a frequency. Everything is vibrating. You know, I look like I'm solid, but I'm really a whole bunch of particles smashed together, vibrating at such a, a frequency or such a rate or speed that I form into solid matter. Your thoughts are vibrating a lot faster than your physical body, which is why you don't see your thoughts. You only experience the awareness of them, right? So with the whole concept of vibration, frequency, how everything vibrates, your thoughts vibrate, your feelings carry a vibration. You have to understand that certain emotions vibrate or have a higher frequency or vibrate at a faster rate, it's all the same thing, than other emotions. There is an emotional scale that I love from this book by David R. Hawkins called Surrender. And don't quote me on that title, you guys. I'll have everything listed in the description for you if you are interested in links. Right on Amazon, I think it's like $13, right? Shameless plug. But this book gives you literally the emotional frequency scale breakdown, and I'm gonna insert it here, so that you guys can really see and understand that like certain feelings like joy and love vibrate a lot higher than other feelings like anger and pride, right? Like things like that. So let's get into our example, because that was my context for you guys. But imagine you are a person and you're looking to manifest, a brand new relationship. But let's say you went through your last relationship and that person did you dirty, they hurt you, they did you wrong, and you have a lot of resentment. When you think about that last experience, you still have a lot of grief or a lot of anger about the situation, however it goes, right? So that is the emotional state that you are vibrating at. Resentment, anger, disappointment, very low vibrational emotions, right? So you're manifesting new love. Two things are gonna happen. You're either going to attract a very healthy partner, just very, very slowly. It's not gonna come to you very fast because you're vibrating at a very slow rate, right? You're not at that frequency where things are accelerated towards you. You're at the frequency where things are almost repelled away from you. So it takes a lot longer for you to get to where you wanna be, right? Or the other thing that could happen is you're going to attract a partner really quick, but they're going to carry that frequency of the last person that you dealt with, right? You guys ever heard that that saying where it's like same energy, different face? Literally, that is what this is. The law of attraction, going back to that again, like corresponds to like goes with like. You cannot attract something that is not similar to your frequency or your vibration. It just doesn't align. That is literally a universal boundary, you guys. And I also want to make a video talking about boundaries. It's going to go so deep. We'll get into that, you guys. But going back to this, right? Now, there's a flip side of that example. You have the person who is maybe releasing the pain that they felt from their past, right? And they're beginning to operate in more higher vibrational frequencies like love, like joy, like acceptance, like peace. And so that person's vibration, their frequency is a lot higher, it's a lot faster. So they are calling in things that resonate with them. That's the type of person that's going to attract the emotionally available person. They're going to attract royal treatment, princess treatment, king treatment, queen treatment, whatever you want, right? That's the type of person that's going to get a partner that shows up, that's loyal, dependable, trustworthy, and really aligns with your values and the things that you're looking for in terms of commitment, right? So you just got to kind of pick your battles, you guys. Like your vibration, your frequency, it is so important. This is why emotional mastery is so important, because this is the part right here that gets you from point A to point B. Otherwise, without the emotional component, you're just thinking a whole bunch of thoughts, but you're not really going anywhere on a vibrational or like on an energetic scale. So you guys know I always got the tea for you. I always got some things that are going to help, that are going to, make your life a little bit easier, make this a little bit more digestible. I'm always going to give you in these videos some steps or some things or some tools or resources that you can use to make this process not only digestible, but to make it like really easy going, right? To make it smooth sailing. You guys, we got the ice cream truck outside. Listen, I live in New York City. You're going to get the ice cream truck outside sometimes. It's getting warm. New Yorkers don't know how to act when we get 60-degree weather. So there's that. But let me give you guys the tea, because the whole point of this video is to help you gain emotional mastery. So I have 3 different things that you guys can try. Some of them you heard before, maybe you haven't, but we're going to talk about it anyway, because the whole point of this process is to really help you to stop reacting to your 3D environment when things pop up, when triggers pop up. Because look, life is going to life, you guys. Unless you're like Jesus Christ or you're Krishna or you're Buddha or something like that, Mother Teresa, right? Like a saint. Like, those people have experienced emotional mastery at a very, very early stage in life. They got their ish together. But if you're like me and you're, not on that level just yet, and you're existing as a human being trying to figure it out, then what you want to do is make sure that you get yourself to a point where your thoughts and your feelings are not influenced by anything around you. Again, life is gonna life, but during those times, what can you do to help you through those triggering moments? What can you do to help bring you from those low vibrational emotions back up the frequency scale to a higher vibrational place? We're gonna talk about it. So the first thing I wanna talk to you guys about is something that I got from Aaron Doughty. He is a masterful YouTuber. I love his channel so much. But he has spoken a lot about reframing your past experiences. And what I mean by this is this, right? Let's say, just like that example of the person who's manifesting a new relationship, they want it to be healthy, they want all of these things, but they went through an experience in their past with their last relationship or with an ex that wasn't so beautiful, it wasn't so masterful, right? With that person or anybody in a situation similar to that, whether it's about work, whether it's about family, whether it's just about life experience in general, what you can begin to do is look back at those experiences and say to yourself, okay, what is it that the universe needed me to know? Because the first thing that we have to understand is that the universe doesn't make mistakes. If we had an experience that we didn't enjoy, we were the primary culprit for the reason we experienced that experience, right? And I'm not gonna go deep into like traumatic experiences, people being attacked and stuff like that. It does ring true for that as well, but that's a little sensitive. We're gonna keep it a little PG-13, you guys. So let's just say, you dated somebody who was toxic, or you had a bad friendship, or, you dealt with a toxic boss, whatever, right? You had experiences in your life that you didn't like. You have to understand the universe didn't make a mistake by placing you in that experience. The universe gave you exactly what you needed because it was truly a reflection of your vibrational state, your frequency at that time. So I say all of this to say, by going back to those experiences, and not with a time machine, you guys, I mean, going back in your mind and reframing the way you see it, placing a new definition on what that experience meant for you, is a really, really good way to help you move through triggers that come up about the past. Because not every time you get triggered, it's about something that's happening for you in the now moment, right? A lot of times, life could be going well, but you just remember a time where something bad happened, or you still are getting eaten up, or something's still under your skin about a time where something happened, something went wrong, something went left. What you wanna do, you guys, in those scenarios is you wanna reframe that situation. So for the person, going back to that example again, the person who dated somebody and it didn't work out and they have all this resentment, by looking at maybe what that person taught you, even if, because Daryl Anka, when he channels Bashar, he says this a lot, even if the only thing you got from that negative situation was more clarity about the things you don't prefer, so therefore you get more clarity about the things you do prefer, so that you can begin to manifest from that standpoint, that is okay. Sometimes the lessons that we get and the abundance we get from an experience, it doesn't look all that magnificent. It doesn't look like the shiny thing you want to put on a pedestal. Sometimes it's just clarity, like, oh, well, at least I know I never want to experience something like that again. Or at least, I do prefer a person who's more like this with me versus a person who's more like that with me. That clarity gives you more of a clear direction as to what you want to create in your life. The whole purpose of existing is to embody that creative energy like our creator. We're made in the creator's image, right? So that we can begin to create more and more beautiful things, right? Abundant things for ourselves. But you also have the free will and the power to create negative things for yourself. I'm going left, I'm going right. We're going to get it back centered, you guys. Reframing the past, telling a new story, or putting a spin on what the story meant for you. That old relationship just came to teach you about your worth, about what you deserve, about what you no longer should settle for. You learned something. Carry that with grace. Let go of the resentment. That person came as a teacher. Don't hate the teacher. Don't hate the lesson. Take it in with gratitude. And then your emotional frequency about what happened will naturally just begin to shift in a different direction, right? You guys know where I'm going with number 2. Nervous system regulation. You guys know EFT tapping, breath work, ice facials, ice baths, or cold showers, right? Things like that. Even getting a massage, you guys, it's gonna do it every time. Because what happens is when your nervous system is not regulated, all of these things, it's like a physiological response to physical stress. Even emotional stress can be perceived by the body as physical stress, right? Again, going back to you have a thought and you start to feel anxiety. Your body, your brain is taking in all that information. Oh, you're feeling anxiety? Let's give you more anxious thoughts, right? That whole cycle, going back to that. But regulating your nervous system is going to put you in a state of ease. It's going to put you in a state of calm. It's going to relieve a lot of that anxiety, a lot of that internal pressure, so it can kind of come and be, moved through you, because that's what emotions and that's what energy wants to do. Emotions, energy in motion. It needs to move. It wants to move. Energy or emotions that get stagnant leads to disease because it's not meant to stay there. It's doing something in the body that it's not meant to do, whatever pocket of the body it decides to store itself, right? Also, you guys, little sidebar, interesting facts. So different emotions store themselves in different places within the body. You have different organs and different bodily systems that literally govern and correspond to different emotional states. So just know if you're having like back problems, you're having kidney problems, there's probably some emotional tie that centers around that. I just want to put that out there as a little food for thought. But nervous system regulation, it's going to do it every time. You guys know I'm always going to advocate for it. It was in the first video. It's probably going to be in every single video going forward because it's going to get the job done. You don't have to do everything on the list, right? But for me, EFT tapping is one of my favorites. Breath work is something you can do that is so discreet. You can be driving, you can be at work, you can be in front of people. You have to breathe as a human being, but nobody can literally see, or should I say, it's a little hard to detect if you're using a certain pattern to do breath work, right? People just see you breathing. And as long as you're not like talking, because at some point during breath work, sometimes you have to hold your breath. That's the only time it would really be noticeable. That's a lot, but we're gonna do long story short. Regulating that nervous system, you guys, if you wanna move through those triggers and you wanna start to master your emotions, that is gonna help you accelerate it, 10x it. You wanna really see it skyrocket. You wanna see exponential growth with your self-mastery. Start tapping in with your nervous system. I tell you guys, when you hear somebody say, oh, you're getting on my nerves, that person got on my nerves, that situation got on my nerves, it's a real thing. Your nerves are being stimulated and not in the best way. You want to get on top of that, right? And then the third thing, you guys, is you want to monitor your thoughts, right? So thoughts are things. But when you are feeling negative emotions, going back to what Dr. Joe Dispenza said, there's going to be a point in time that you can literally pinpoint. Prior to feeling that emotion, if you go back just a little bit before that emotion really became a part of your awareness, you will be able to pinpoint like, oh, I thought this thought. That's what triggered this emotion, right? Sometimes you feel emotions and you're not even aware of why, but if you are paying enough attention, or if you are able to like really zoom into that subconscious or even the conscious mind, because sometimes it lingers there too, you'll be able to see like this pattern of thought is leading to this pattern of emotion. You change the pattern of thought, therefore new emotions emerge, right? Positive affirmations is something I also advocated for in the first video, but I'm probably going to advocate for that in every video as well, because that's something that I realize is very, very helpful. And again, delusion is going to carry you half the way with that battle with the emotions, but making sure you are speaking things and you're thinking things that align with positive energy, that align with the things that you want and not the things that you don't. That's really, really going to do the trick, you guys, because when they said that it takes two to tango, they weren't lying. You need the aligned emotions with the aligned thoughts, and those two together, they point you right in the direction and get you moving in the direction of exactly what it is that you want in your life. So when I say emotional mastery is important, you guys, do not take it with a grain of salt. Do not think, oh, well, you know, I can practice emotional mastery anytime. Let me just get my thoughts right. Because your thoughts are only really half the battle. you guys, I hope that this made sense for you. I hope that I broke this down in a way where it feels digestible, it feels relatable, it feels understandable. You can start putting these things into practice for yourselves, right? Comment down below if this made sense, if you like this, if you want to see more like this, if you have any, specific topics you want me to really dive deep into when it comes to reframing, reshaping your mindset, just altering your reality, shifting timelines, whatever may have you, because I'm down to do more content for you guys, and whatever you guys want, I'm here to deliver. So there's that. But you guys, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for staying until the end, tapping in, tuning in with this video. You guys are amazing, and I really, really appreciate every single one of you that are still subscribed to the channel, that are watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. If you are not, you probably might want to do that. And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell below so you don't miss out on the weekly gems that are going to be dropping for you guys, because they're coming. They're coming in piping hot, almost like my tea here. So you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for vibing. Until the next time we speak, until the next time we connect, I'm sending you all the love, all the good vibes, all the good energy. That's it.